بالنسبة للصوت مفيش صوت شغال. مفيش صوت شغال.
Hello everybody, this is our seventh tag. Welcome to you all. Today we will have a kind of great fun because we will have some activities and applying on platforms. Let's start with our schedule for today. We'll have 8 platforms which we'll have 6 platforms which we will take 3 today and 3 next session, God willing. Right. For today, we will learn about a platform called the Kahoot and Jamboard. The third one is Nearpod. Next time, we will learn about some other platforms. Let's see. So, in our 8th tag, we will learn about Padlet, Mentimeter, and Fit. And then we'll have a reflection and action plan next time. For all the platforms which we are dealing with, you should start with creating an account or signing up in this platform before using it. You can make a kind of account on these platforms by joining them to your Google account or by making an account using your email. Right. So we are agreed to sign up first for all these platforms and then start using them. What are the learning outcomes for today? By the end of this module, you will be able to get access to a range of online platforms that could help you design and or adapt your activities to incorporate technology into your teaching. So you can use technology in your teaching with this very simple and useful platforms. Number 2, to be able to select websites that are suitable for your learners and to the use in your context. First, how to evaluate and select a good and suitable website for your students. 1, think about your aims. What are the aims you want to deliver your students? And what materials you need? 2, search for suitable website. Not all the websites are suitable for the age and the level of education and the gender of your students. So search for a suitable website. 3, check the site is easy to use because you can give them very difficult sites to use and they couldn't deal with it. So it would be a kind of wasting time. 4, check the site is accurate because some sites gives the students some inaccurate information and you are not in need to correct these mistakes. If I were you, I would choose some accurate sites to deal with instead of correction of the wrong information given these sites. 5, if it isn't accurate, choose a different site as we said. Number 6, check the site content is right for your learners level because if you give them some high level of sites they couldn't deal with, it may give them a kind of frustration in using technology. Number 7, prepare your lesson using the resources you have selected because you are selecting these resources to use them. Now let's start with our first platform, which is Kahoot. In this session, we will be like this. I will give you a kind of video, you will listen to it, and then we'll apply on what we had learned in this lesson, and after that we'll summarize it. Again, in this first part, we'll have a short video about the platform which we are explaining, and then we'll apply on the information or the knowledge which we gained in this video. After that, we'll summarize in some slides what we have learned. Let's start with our first platform, which is Kahoot.
First, Kahoot is a game-based or gamified student response system that takes something like a Socratic type student responses, but it also adds some gaming elements like a point system. It has interesting music and visuals, and what I like most about this is not only it's engaging for the kids, but it's easy to set up. And I would say even easier to actually go off and play in your classroom. You can use any device, and all you need is one projector, one way to show you how to quickly. First, you're going to go to Nearpod.com. This is the teacher side. This is where you're going to set up your games and save your games. And then Kahoot.it is where any student would go. So as long as they know to go to Kahoot.it, they can go to on their Chromebook, on their laptop, on their iPad, any device they have, even their phones. As long as they go to this address, they can get the game pin and they can play. So once you sign in, it's going to give you a dashboard with your Kahoots, public Kahoots that you can play, and then also how to create your own. So we're going to create a new one. So we go to quiz, give it a name, and then you're just going to enter your questions. So for this, I'm just going to say name that president, and then I'm going to choose an image. You don't always have to add an image, but it is a nice little feature, particularly if you're going to do something like this where they just have to name the president that is in the image file. So you click choose file, start out with Bill Clinton. Give a little preview, see what it's going to look like, and then you enter your answer choices below. Once you have your choices in, you're going to click below the correct answer. It'll turn green, and then you know you have the right answer in there. If you're done with your quiz, you just click save and continue, or if you want to add a couple more questions, you click add questions, which is what I'm about to do now. I'm just going to put 3 in there for the sample video. Oh, another thing is that you can change the time limit, so you can make it anywhere from 5 to 120 seconds per question. We'll make this one 10 seconds. Okay, once you have all your questions entered, you click save and continue. And then you get a quick preview of your questions, how long it takes, and then how many word choices you have. Okay, to finish up, you're going to choose some privacy settings. We're going to make this a public one to share out. The audience, we're going to click school, a quick description. And lastly, any tags if you want people to be able to search for this. And before you're done, you can actually choose to add an image or a YouTube video in the background that will display in the lobby screen. We're just going to do a image file here. Use the presidential seal. Preview of it, and then you click done. Now this is going to show up in your dashboard, and to start playing, you just simply click play now. And you have a couple options. I usually like to randomize the questions and randomize the order of answers. Now, once you launch this, it's going to give a student pin, and this will allow anybody on any device to join Kahoot. So let's just enter this in the desktop version. And what I'm going to do is also join this game from my Chromebook and from my iPhone. So after you join, I'll say to put in a nickname. And you can see the nickname that I put in here just showed up on the dashboard. Now, this screen is what you're going to show your students projected out onto the screen. This screen on the left is what the students will see on their device. Now I'm just going to enter the game from my other 2 devices. Okay, now you see all 3 of my devices are in with their names. If someone joins that you don't want in the game, or if they just have an inappropriate name, you can actually X them and kick them out of the game. But to start, you just press start now. And again, this on the left side is what the players will see. Okay, so you have the options here, and on the student side, they would just choose the image or the shape and color of the correct answer. Okay, so once the time's up, it'll say how many correct answers there were, how many students or people chose each answer, and then what the correct answer was. Now, from the student side, they actually see, for instance, the student or the person on the desktop, it shows how many points and then what position they're in out of the total class. Then on the teacher side, it'll have a ranking that you can show the class of who's winning the game. Now, it's not just who gets it right, but how fast they answer it, which is a really cool part of this. It makes it engaging for the students because they're not just racing to get it right, but they're who can answer this the quickest. So all of us got it right on that one. So now it just comes down to timing. The iPhone was the fastest to answer, so that ended up winning this particular game. Now, once you're done, you get some final feedback and results. Students can rate it on how fun it was, whether they learned something, and also if they recommend it. And they can also say how happy they are. And you can see this actually automatically pops up, giving you some feedback. Okay, once you're done, click Final Results. And you can download your results if you want a spreadsheet, track your data, or if you just want to play again, have some fun, click Play Again, or play different. All right, hope this helps. It's a fun, engaging game for kids. I definitely recommend it. Enjoy.
Right, so this is a brief summary about how to deal with Kahoot, how to make a kind of game and deliver it to your students. Be careful about two things. Kahoot.com is for building your exercise or game. Kahoot.it is for your students to log into this exercise or this game again. So I have got two links. First one is Kahoot.com for you to build your exercise or game, and Kahoot.it for your students to go into this exercise or game and play it with you. Let's start doing this together. We will write down Kahoot.com, and the interface or the opening page will be like this. This is the main page of Kahoot. We have got the title or the link kahoot.com. Here you will find on the top right, sign up or login. For the first time, you should make a kind of registration and making a kind of account to be a member in Kahoot. After that, you will be logged in to the platform and use it. Let's go and log in the platform. This is the first page. In this page, you will find create. This create is to create a new game. Let's wait till it opens. Let's go back. This is create at the top right. We'll start our new game by pressing over here and create. The first one is for free, but the templates is paid, so don't use these templates because you will be asked to pay money. Don't use this. The first one, create, is for free, so we'll press create. Now we'll start our game. On the right, we'll find the question type. You will have quiz, true or false, type answer, puzzle, and so on. You can navigate and explain and try each of them. Here is a time limit for each question. If it's easy, you can give them 10 seconds, for example. If it's difficult, you can give them 1 minute and so on. Now we'll give them 10 seconds. Points, you can choose if it's standard or double points and so on. Here's answer options, single, select, or more than this. We'll choose quiz, and the time will be 10 seconds for each question. Now let's start with entering. On the top left, entering Kahoot title. We'll press here and write down the name. This is the title, for example, NTTP Year 3 TAG7. If you want to make a kind of description for this activity, you can write down here up till 500 words. You can choose a covering image, so I'll change it. Press here, add image. I can add image from here or search my computer. Let's, for example, take this image. So it will appear in my game. Save to if you want to save it to another place, language, English. And then it's okay. Press done. After finishing, now our title is NTTP Year 3 TAG7. Here we will start typing our question. What is tag means? We can add a picture here, so we'll press this icon. Now I can download an image from popular images or from my computer. I can search the internet, typing some words and find out a picture related to this, or choose some pictures from here. I choose this one. You can remove it from here and use another picture from your computer. After that, we'll start by adding answers. He gives you these symbols: triangle, diamond, circle, and square. Here we'll write down the first answer. Tag means or meant by. What's meant by tag? Teacher activity group, and this is the right answer. So I will put a tick here to show that if the student answers this answer, he will give him a right answer and give him the mark. Here I can write down teach, for example, teach again. This is wrong. I won't write down anything here. I can add the third answer. A fourth answer. This is, for example, I have finished. So I can add another question by pressing here, this icon, add question, and I can add the slides if I have already made slides from here. After I have finished making a lot of questions, as many questions as I want, and giving the right answers, I should press save at the top right on the screen, as you see. So now we'll press save. You can preview your game from this icon. So let's start previewing what we have done. Preview. So my question will be appear for my student like this, and it will take 10 seconds, as you see in the counter on the left. After that, you will give me the right answer, as you see. Now we'll return back to the main game, and now we'll save it. After reviewing and making some modification for my questions and answers, I will now save it. Save. So change it, saved. After that, I can share my game with my students. Now I will share Kahoot, assign, and so on. Let's open our game again. Let's start. If you want to start the game and answer it, this is a quiz. The name and the title is what's tag meant by, and so on. You can answer it. Now we'll start to share our game. Start if you want to start in a classic mode. Here is in classic mode, the students are answering the game individually, but in the team mode, they are making a kind of consulting over the answer, and one of the team answers the question instead of the other members of the team. So let's start as a team here. It gives you a pen, loading a pen. This pen will be given to your student. So this pen 9276429, I will copy it or share it with my students. So I copied it, and then I will give it to my students and ask them to go. When they write down this pin code and Kahoot.it, they will start to play the game. So I have got two options. Kahoot.com, in which I have already made my game, and Kahoot.it for my students to play the game. Now let's open a new tab and write down Kahoot. .it. Double O. He asked me to give him my game pin. So I return back here and write down this pin. 927 927 6429 6429 and enter. 6429, enter. Nickname, he asks me to write down my name. and okay, go. Now, as a student, I can play the game and answer the question. You can give your students the results or give them the right answers and give them some instruction. You can play this game in your school as a live game or by using Zoom or to give them the link and ask them to answer it again. This is my name, Abdulrahman Rashid, and I can now start. Here is one participant, which is me. If you write down this pin code in Kahoot.it, you will play the game with me. So I will start here. The question will be started after. Now this is quiz. What's tag meant by? I will choose this answer. I haven't pressed it well, so I got 0 here because I didn't press it well. If there is a lot of question, I can press next and answer it. As this is simply Kahoot, let's return back to the next platform. Before it will summarize what we have learned in this platform. So we have already said that we will write down kahoot.com to make a kind of registration in this site. We'll start by sign up here, and after that we can go through login. After that, we'll find this first page. Here on the top right, we can create our games, and here is my Kahoots. This is the games I have already made for my students before. I can return back to them and play it again and again. Here is how to make your first game. First, this is step number 1. You can choose the type of question you want. After that, you can start by typing your question here. Number 3, you can write down the answers. 4 answers, 3 answers, or 2 answers at least. Number 4, you can add media through your computer or through the templates he gives you or through the internet. Number 5, you can take the time limits, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, or a minute, as you wish. After that, you can add number 6, add questions and make as many questions as you want to make your Kahoot. After that, how can you share it? You can share it by using Face. So when you press share this Kahoot, you will find you can share it by using your Facebook, Twitter, or Teams. You can use your Google Classrooms as a place to share it, or you can get the link and copy the link here and share it using WhatsApp, for example, or to write it down on the board in your class and so on. Now, this is a kind of assignment for us. I want you to create Kahoot.it and give us on our WhatsApp group the link to go and play the game with you. We are waiting for the pins for Kahoot games. You will make it for us. Create your own game and share with your colleagues on our WhatsApp group. I wish this platform is useful for you. And now we will turn to another platform, which is Jamboard. Jamboard is one of Google applications, which is for free. You don't need to make a kind of sign up in this platform to start it. Let's at first listen to this and watch this video. After that, we'll try it by ourselves and then summarize it. Enjoy it.
first thing you always need to do is go to google.com, make sure that you're logged in here in the top right corner, and then click the waffle iron, the Google Maps icon. And then you are going to be able, if you don't see it right up here, the app, come and scroll down, and then you'll find Jamboard. Once you click on that Jamboard icon, you'll be redirected here to your home. Same kind of format as you have Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets. Jamboard is right here. Jamboard. And I just want to give you a quick glance of all the different things you can do here. This is page 1 for pages of 4 different whiteboards. And to the left over here, you have the different things that you can use to run or erase your board. Like right here, I have a pen. I click on the pen. I can then write hi. Not gonna lie, but if you click it again, you can change the type of pen. So this one is the second option. Here's the third option. This is more of like an actual dry erase marker. And then the third option is like a paintbrush. Now you can change the colors here if we want to make it, red, green.
The sound is clear.
Different fun stuff. And then our next icon right here is the erase button. And this just is a simple eraser, and do what you need to do, erase. This is the cursor, so now I want to go between the first and the second slide. If I want, I can now click up here to my next frame. And this is a diagram that another admin team practiced or tried to make with the whiteboard. And here we have a blank frame and another blank frame. So if I wanted to go here, and let's say I wanted to clear this board, there's right here a clear frame button. And if you click on that, it completely erases the board so that you don't have to click this eraser icon and do the entire board. Because that can take a long time. If you want, you can hit Command Z and undo something that you just did. And this right here is a sticky note. And if you click this icon, you can have a sticky note saying test. Save. And there it is. Now I want to get out of it. I just hit cancel, and I'm back to the screen. As you can see here, we have a new yellow sticky note and the blue sticky note. Over here is an image. So if you want to click that image icon, you can search the web just like you would in Google Docs or Google Slides. Or if you have a file on your hard drive or your desktop, you can upload it. So let's say I click here, I can find the file, upload it. You can also do a Google image search, and I could say tiger. And it will give me pictures of a tiger. And I can click select. It will image the whiteboard. So if you're doing a social studies project or art project, you can put the picture. You can write comments. Like, look at this. Dangerous. All that different stuff. And now over here you have a background, and you can change the background of your whiteboard. So if you are a math teacher, you might benefit from using this right here, how to turn it into a grid format, where you can either have students color it in, or if you want to make sure that it looks more uniform, this can help a lot. There are other things. If you want to have a blue background, it's sometimes easier to see if you have that, but then if you clear the frame, that doesn't clear the background. You have to go back to this if you want to change your background. Now, let's say this bottom one, I have a laser. I'm going to go back right here to this. I wanted to draw the attention to what I am presenting. Jamboards will be live, and you can present using them. And if you click on this laser tool, you will then have this laser say, okay, boys and girls, focus on this. Why is this one different? So it's just a cool way to highlight what you are doing, all that different fun stuff. Now, if you want to add a new board, all you need to do is click this box up here. This is the expanded frame bar. And if you click on that, it shows you right now I have 4 different boards. If you click this dot, 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 I can duplicate a board. And it's also how you delete a board. If you want, you can add another frame by clicking one of these circles, and then you can, again, get rid of this stuff that you don't want by doing delete. If you wanted to, you can even drag and drop if you wanted to change the order. So that's the basics of the whole Jamboard. Hopefully you have your questions, but if you have any more, leave them down in the comment box below.
Right, now let's start applying on what we have learned in this video. Well, open a new tab. On the top right, you will find 9 dots in a grid like this. Whenever you open Google Chrome, press it and scroll down to find Jamboard. It's one of Google application. It's for free. Here is Jamboard. We will press it. This is our opening in this Jamboard. It's like a kind of blackboard or whiteboard you can use in your class. Here's the first option, owned by anyone. Anyone can write down on it, owned by me or not owned by me. You can choose whatever you want. I think owned by me is the best solution. Here is to re-download this site again. If you have got a lot of exercise before or Jamboards before, you can arrange them alphabetical or sort them from A to Z or according to the date you have already published it on, or by using the titles of each Jamboard exercise or activity you have created. Here is another way to show your board. If you press it, you will find it grid view or row view as you like. So let's start by pressing on the plus sign on the bottom right down here. If you see it, you can see it. Press it to start your Jamboard. So this is our Jamboard. On the left side, we will find out our tools. Here is, if you find this small arrow, press it. You will find the type of pen you will use or can use. You will find 4 types of pens. Here is the first one, first pen. If I press it, I can write down I. It's a bit difficult for some extent. I can, for example, can C A N. It's difficult to some extent. You can change the pen from here. Choose someone else. I. This is I. I can choose this one and change the color. I write down with this. I. This is much bigger. Or this, like a brush. I will change the color again. I. But it's a bit difficult. After that, we can erase letter by letter or a word by word by using this eraser. So when I press it, I can erase a single letter, or I can erase clear the frame all. Let's see, when I press clear frame, it erased all what I had written on this whiteboard, right? Again, let's write down some words, I, for example. And here is a pointer, select some words. This is a kind of pointer. Here is sticky notes. If you want to write down some notes in your slides or Jamboard, I can write down hello, for example. Our NTTP friends you will find it, save like a note, and Here is a note which you have already written. You can move it to any place you want on your board. And here you can find 3 dots. Edit to modify this note. Duplicate to make it double or delete it. Right? When I duplicate it, I will find 2 of them. Here is, I will delete it, for example. Again, I will press this and duplicate it. Here you can find another option, which is order, to bring it back or to send it backwards or front and so on. This is new. Now this is for, if you please mute yourself. Miss Samah. Thanks. Now we can add image. Let's see how can we add image from here. I'll press add image. It gives me the options to add image from my computer, upload it from my computer, or by using URL. I will give him a URL in which this picture is related to, or using the camera and so on, or from my Google Drive or Google Photos and so on. Now I will upload a photo from my computer. I will press browse. I will choose the place. For example, I will choose this photo and then open. Now is uploading my photo. So this is my photo. I put it on my board here. I can modify this. I will press and make it bigger by dragging the arrow like this and change its place. Here the 3 dots. I can duplicate, delete, or order it to make it go back or to the front. Change whatever you want. After that, you can add some certain shapes like circle. Press the small arrow here and you will find out some more shapes like square, triangle, diamond, arrow, and so on. I will use this, for example. I will press it and then draw it on my board. I can use this again, or I can use, here is appeared some other tools like fill color. I can fill it with another color like this, like that. As you can see, I changed the color of my square. Here I can use border color. For example, I will use this. You can see the border color and so on. I can make it bigger. I can undo what I have done. Let's see. So it returned back to its previous state, or I can redo, right? When I make something wrong, I can use this. After that, I can use this to write down some text box. Press it. Come to a certain place and write down what you want. Today, we will speak about blah, 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 and so on. I can move it to any place I want. I can duplicate it and make it with other format. As you see, when I am dealing with a text, here is another tab which appeared to change the style of my words. I can make it as a display. It's a kind of title like this, or make it smaller, subtitle, or normal. As you wish, you can change the style of writing you had written, and you can change the color of the writing. For example, I will make it yellow. You can change the adjustment to the right, to the left, to the center. as you are playing with your whiteboard in the class. Here is the last option, which is laser. You can show your students some certain words and make a kind of spotlight over it like this. Now we are speaking about blah, blah, blah. Here is you can find this and it disappears after a while. This is laser. After you have finished this, you can change the background of your board like this. I can make it dots. Let's see. Here is dots. I can change it again to make it like this and so on. You can explore these items. And this is to make your board 2 slides, 3, 4, 5, as you wish. Now I have as many boards as I want. Let's see. Now I have 4. This is the first one. I can press here to make a kind of show to show all the whiteboards that I have already done. Right? Let's go back. Right. Now I have finished doing my Jamboard. I can give my Jamboard a title over there to the left side. Press it. I will name it, for example, NTTP Year 3 TAG 7 and say okay.
اقول لك شويه عيش العيش هيغلى بالزبده ما ينفعش اقول لك شويه عيش
Zainab,
عيش ايه يعني
mute yourself.
500
Miss Zainab. Right now, this is the title of my Jamboard, and this is the number of the Jamboards I have already done. I can modify them or duplicate or write down on them. Now I will share it with my students, but let's look at this. I can present to a meeting. Let's see. If you want to make it as a kind of meeting between you and your students, here is the 3 dots, more actions. If you want to rename it, to download it as PDF. After I have finished my Jamboard, I can download it as PDF and print it to distribute it or hand it out with my students. Or save some images from it, remove it, or make a copy of it, and so on. You can try this. After that, I am ready now to share my Jamboard with my student. I will press share. Here you will find the 2 options. You can add a person, a group. You can write down the emails of your students and send it to them like this. Now I can choose my email. This is my email and send it to me by pressing down. Or to get the link, now I can copy the link and give it to my students on our WhatsApp group or our Facebook group and so on, and ask them to make a kind of modification over the Jamboards, number 2, 3, 4, or the first one to participate in this activity with my students. I can make it live with my students and ask them to write down some words related to some notes or something else. So this is for Jamboard. Let's return back to the summarizing of what we have learned in this activity or platform. He said to me, if you wanted to go to Jamboard, we can open your Google Chrome or your browser, and from the 9 dots on the grid over there on the top right, you can press them and choose Jamboard as a free application from Google. After that, you will find the recent or the previous Jamboards you have already done before on the top left side. You can start or create a new Jamboard by pressing the plus icon to the bottom right. This is the whiteboard. You will give it a name. Use the tools on the left side and write down as many as whiteboards you want, and after that you can share your work with your students by two means. You can give your students this Jamboard through the email or by copying the link and giving it to your students over your WhatsApp group and so on. This is our activity for Jamboard. Think about an activity that you can use with your students using Jamboard, and then write it down on a sticky note and paste it here. Here meant by our WhatsApp group, NTTP Year3. I'm waiting for these two activities for first Kahoot and then for Jamboard. Now it's time to move to the third and last activity for today. This is the third platform, which is Nearboard. Let's listen and watch to this video, and after that we'll make a kind of application over this.
Today, you'll learn how to create a Nearpod lesson. There are two ways to create a Nearpod lesson. The first way is to create a lesson in Nearpod. The second way is to create a lesson in Google Slides. Or you can also select your format in the upper right-hand corner by selecting the New tab. When creating a lesson within Nearpod, you can begin by titling your lesson. Next, you can add engaging and interactive content and activities by clicking on the Add Slide button. Our Content tab is meant to engage and teach students. Our Activities tab is meant to assess our students. You can also enhance pre-existing content by uploading your own pre-made PowerPoints, PNGs, and PDFs. You can do so by selecting any PowerPoint, PDF, or PNG from your computer drive, Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. Once uploaded, now I can Nearpodize my PowerPoint. Nearpodizing simply means that you're adding engaging, interactive features and activities to enhance your pre-made lesson. When done Nearpodizing your pre-existing PowerPoint, make sure to click Save and Exit. Here's my PowerPoint that's now enhanced with all of its Nearpod engaging interactive features and content. Remember, you can also create a lesson in Nearpod within Google Slides. All you have to do is simply select Lesson in Google Slides, and it will walk you through step by step how to create a Nearpod lesson within Google Slides. If you have any further questions, please visit nearpod.com/resources or
Right, now we'll start to apply what we have learned in this video. We'll write down nearpod.com on our Google search, and we'll find the sign up or log in. First, we'll make a kind of registration in this site. After that, we can use it freely. It's for free. We'll log in this site. Now log in. This is the first page in our Nearboard. First, they ask you if you are over 13. Yes, submit. This is our first page or the interface of the Nearboard platform. Here you will find a kind of code on the top left side. If your teacher gives you a code, you can put the code here and join the lesson he had already made for you. This is for the student that after making this lesson, we'll obtain a kind of code which we can give to our students to put it in nearpod.com and join our lesson. But first, we'll start as teachers here to create. If you see a create here, you can press here or create here. Let's start by creating our first lesson. It asks you if it's a lesson or a video. Let's start with a lesson. Add content and activities. Here you will find it to add content or drop any of this. You can add PDF files, pictures, or something else by pressing upload. Let's start here, for example, upload files. Right, you can upload from your computer, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, or the cloud, which is OneDrive. If you have any pictures or PDF files, you can upload it from any of these places. Now, let's start, for example, here from our computer. We'll upload this picture, for example. No, I don't want to upgrade now. We'll skip this step because he wants me to upgrade. He will ask me to pay money for this. I'm not ready for this now. Now we'll start our first activity. We can choose from this activities. This is fit, which you will learn more about next time. You can join these two activities together. you can join Nearpod with Fit. But till we learn about Fit, we'll leave it today. Let's start with slide. This is our first slide. We can click here to write down a title. As usual, it's NTTP, Year 3, TAG7. You can click and drag some pictures or some words or write down anything you want. Answer, for example, answer the following questions related to something. You can write down some questions here. 1, 2, 3, and so on. Here is how to change the writing styles. You should select it. Here is to make it bold, italics, underline, to make a kind of strike through, or to change the typing of the pencil you write with, or to make a kind of link on which you can use it with your students and so on. Here is to make it modified, align to the left, center, or to the right, or to make it justifying alignment. And here is some more option. If you press it, you will find some more options, like making a kind of fruit, to make it subscript or superscript, and so on. Here is the size of your writing. You can enlarge it, right? And here is, you can download a kind of audio from your computer, video, and so on. Here is you can upload an image. Here is to make a kind of order, to send this option back or front, bring it to front, and so on. To undo something wrong you have already done. After finishing, you can share it with your students. This is the title, and this is the rest of the slide. You can change it like this or this. You can choose whatever style you want. I have finished, so I can return back to my Nearboard again and share it with my students. When I want to share it, he will give me a kind of code which I will give to my student. Now I will press save to save the changes I have done to my application or platform. So save again. I don't like to upgrade. No, thanks. Not now, thanks. Here is to upgrade, is to pay money. You can benefit from being free for a certain time. And when it gives you the code, you can give this code to your students and make them write down nearboard.com. And when they enter it or sign it, he will ask them to write down the code. They will write down the code which you give them and start to see the Nearpod lesson which you give them. Let's go back again to our session and see the summarizing of this third platform. Here is the interface of nearboard.com. You can sign up for free or log in after signing up. After that, there is some kind of difference between logging into this site as a teacher or a student. On the left side, you are entering or logging into this site as a teacher, so you can make your lessons. If you are a student, you should join the lesson through entering the code which you gain from the Nearboard lesson which your teacher gives you. Here is in the top left corner. If you are a student, you can write down here. You can write down the code which your teacher gives you. And if you are a teacher, you can create from here or from here your new lesson. After that, after finishing this lesson, you can share it by using one of these three options. By using Zoom and its live participation, so your student can modify on the lesson you have already made, and this will be saved online. Or you can make it live participation. You can open this link in your class with your students and ask them to work in groups or individually to make some kind of modification over this lesson, or you can share it with your students by student based. This is individually in their homes when they take the code and enter the lesson in a certain time, and try to ask them to make a kind of modification over this lesson and resend it back to you over your WhatsApp group or so on. This is the last assignment for today. It's what features does this platform have that you can use with your students? How can you use this platform with your students? Answer this question and send it back to us on our WhatsApp group. The second point is create an activity using Nearpod and send the code to your colleagues to try to play the game or play this platform lesson with you, and to give you some kind of encouragement that you learned something new and you can apply it and benefit from this trial or this experience when you are applying it with your students. This is the end of our lesson today, or our session. Today we have learned three main points or three main platforms. I think if you tried this platforms during the week, you will benefit a lot from them. Till we meet again next week and have through three new platforms. I wish you all the best of luck and goodbye. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Abrahman.
Thanks, Mr. Abdurrahman.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mr. Abdurrahman.
Thanks. Till we meet again. Thanks.
I am happy to listen to you, Mr. Abdurrahman.
Right? Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Abdurrahman.
Thanks, sir. Thanks. You are welcome.
You are welcome.